everyone. So welcome to Wake Up and Shake Up, 5 minutes of motivation for mompreneurs. Hopefully these streams will stay online and not ditch again, because obviously the internet in France is struggling. It's on the struggle bus this morning, and let's hope it gets off the struggle bus at the next stop, because I am really fed up of the internet kicking me off every 5 seconds. So we're going to go for it. So today we're going to talk again. If my eyes are going, it's because I've literally got a phone up there streaming to YouTube at the same time. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello. If you're watching on Facebook, hello. So this is 5 minutes of motivation for mompreneurs. We're going to talk about the best kind of action that you can take, because there is a lot of people that get stuck in inaction because they don't know what to do, and they're scared of doing the wrong thing. They're scared of taking those steps forward. And when we did the wrap party yesterday, if you're not already in the wrap party, then you can sign up by going to bit.ly/2017 wrap, and that'll get you into the wrap party. And yesterday we were talking about our fears, and we just had a little look back on 2017, what we loved, what we didn't like so much, what we need more of, what we need less of, etc. And it came up a few times that people were kind of scared to take action because they didn't want to fail. And I gave them all a bit of a pep talk saying, but what if what if you fly? It's that I don't want to take action because I might fail, but equally it might be amazing, and you're never going to know unless you try and do it. So I think that's really important to keep with us all the time. And I always say, and if anyone's followed me for more than 5 minutes, they'll know that I always say take imperfect action, because it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get done, and we can sit on these posts or sit on these ideas. Maybe you've got an idea for a linky or a project or a collaboration, and you're just a bit scared about it. So we'll just sit on it and not actually do it because, because what if I fail? But what if you fly? And that's the really important thing. So I want to tell you today, and your little mini challenge is, and we're going to say, I'm going to go on to another bit, but is to take imperfect action. So just move. The most important thing to gain momentum is to keep moving. And if we don't keep moving, we're just gonna stagnate, and we're never going to move forward with our businesses, our blogs, whatever. I've lost my bra strap. It all happens on live. We're never going to know what we're capable of if we just always give ourselves the cop out of like, oh, well, I might fail. Well, yeah, but what if you don't? And what if it's amazing? And I recently went to, if anyone's followed me again for more than 5 minutes, they'll know that I went to Youpreneur Summit, which was organised by Chris Ducker, and it was the most amazing, life-changing conference stroke summit that is ever been. I think it was just brilliant. And I had the absolute pleasure of meeting Pat Flynn, but also that's a whole other story but also watching his and listening to his keynote speech. And one of his main points that he started with was to take unusual action. Now, I've mentioned that before, I think a couple of weeks ago on maybe this Wake Up and Shake Up, and it's to do the thing that no one's doing, because otherwise you're just going to be in the sea of kind of just averageness, if that's even a word. And it's really important to look at what's happening in your industry or your niche and think, but what is everyone doing? Is everyone on YouTube? And if so, then yeah, maybe that means that YouTube's viable to get leads and customers and readers and whatever, what viewers. But why don't I do Facebook Live or something? Why don't I do something that's different? Is everyone doing Facebook Live in your niche really kind of scripted? And could you do something a little bit more wacky and out there? And how old am I saying wacky? I mean, good Lord. But, what can you do that's not the same as everyone else? And it doesn't have to be these massive big ideas. It just has to be, maybe you do what you were doing anyway, but you do it in a different platform. Does this make sense, everyone? Just give me a little bit of comments. What if I fly hashtag? That it is, it's so true. We just like get ourselves into this. We're just stuck. We're just stuck because we're scared. We're scared of, I had someone yesterday saying they were scared of being their true self and sort of, you know, really with their personality in their blog, because what if they turn someone off their, you know, off their blog? What if they found they weren't a, you know, they didn't have a resonance with that person? Well, so what? It doesn't matter. There's plenty of people out there that will resonate with what you're saying if you're really true to yourself. So what can you do today? This is the challenge. What can you do today that you can just get on and do, that you can just like take imperfect action? And what could you do that is different? So what unusual action could you take? What would make Pat Flynn happy if you took some unusual action? So you might be thinking, okay, so for example, we're just about to launch a podcast. Well, you know, everyone does things in a certain way. Well, what if we did something different? So for example, John Lee Dumas and his podcast, everyone said, even his mentors said, do not do a one day, like a daily podcast. You will kill yourself. You'll never keep up with it. No one's done it. No one, you know, wants to do it. It's just crazy. He knew that he had that thirst to learn. So he would listen to a podcast and he would binge on that podcast. And then he was disappointed when he had to wait another week for it again. And so he decided that he was his ideal listener at that time. And he kind of thought, well, I want to do that, and I think there's a need. So he literally, you know, he obviously took their advice on board, and then he said, actually, I'm still going to do it. And he's made it work through doing batching and all of this stuff that he does so incredibly well. 15 interviews in a day. The man needs like a medal. But that is now, I think it's the #1 podcast in the business section, because he did it despite all these amazing people saying, yeah, you don't really want to do that. No one's done that before. And for good reason, they've not done it, because it's a little bit, you know, crazy. So, and I've noticed Ramina's put, you know, innovate and experiment is so important, isn't it? That take imperfect action, Andrea says, keep moving. I need to distill that into a word for 2018. Yeah, because we talked about our words in the wrap party yesterday. What word is going to sum up all your intentions really for 2018? And with that, people were saying a couple of different things. Like they were saying exposure and traffic, and it was like, yeah, but if you can I have two? And it's like, no, because that's the whole point, is that you need to focus on one thing. But if you focus on exposure, traffic will come. So that's, you know, that's just going by the by for what we discussed yesterday. My phone's ringing because this is live, so why would my phone not ring? All we need now is the doorbell to go and the dogs to start barking, and we'll have a full house. And then if that happens, I shout house and stand up, don't I, or whatever you do in bingo, to get the full force of being amazing on live and everything going wrong. But I'm still actually grateful that this is still streaming, because it took me about 20 times to get live today. So this is what I want you to do. So Julie said, yes, mulling it over. I mean, think things through, but then you have that gut feeling, don't you, sometimes, and you know whether something's, you might not know whether it's going to work, but you know that you want to try. And that is the exciting thing, isn't it? Knowing that you can do this. And I think that's also why we get stuck in inaction, because there's so much more. Oh, got a frog in my throat. Hang on a sec. The frog is back, people. There's so many. We're not stuck in overwhelm or inaction because we've got nothing to do. We're stuck because we've got so much we could potentially do. And I think that's where we could do online. You can do anything. You could take any direction with your blog. You could do anything. So we kind of go, oh God, I don't really know what, to do. So if you're in that situation, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a Facebook Live show? And how are you going to make that different to anything else in your niche? Or like I said, if everyone in your niche is doing Facebook Live and it's like they're popping up every 5 minutes, could you do something on YouTube? Could you do Instagram Live? Where's your audience, and what could you do that would be different? So the kids are watching you on our big TV, says Debbie. Don't put me on a big TV, not this early in the morning, please. Give a lady a break. I think I need to be small this morning. I fell asleep on the couch again last night, and which was just not really needed. But yes, that's another story. So what can you do today to take imperfect action, and what can you do today that would make Pat Flynn happy? So what could you do today that is unusual for your niche or the piece of content? So maybe everyone does their recipes like as a blog post. Maybe you could do your recipe on Instagram stories and you know, part bits and bits, or maybe you could do it live on Instagram, or how could you do it that makes it different? A little example, not really it wasn't really necessarily for a business thing, but you know, Jade put her Christmas tree, my wonderful VA and amazing friend Jade put her Christmas tree up on Facebook Live. Facebook Lives tend to be short. You know, I go for an hour normally on my main show, but you know, they tend to be on the shorter side, maybe an hour and under. Jade did a Facebook Live putting a Christmas tree up with like music and stuff happening throughout the day. It was like 2 hours long and even longer, I think. And maybe it was 5 hours long, I don't know, but it was a long time, and it shouldn't have worked because it was too long, okay? But it worked because people loved it and they'd never seen anything like it before, and it got like, I don't know, it was 10,000 viewers, but I think it's probably more now. But that's because she just did something that was different. It shouldn't have worked, should it? It shouldn't really have worked. No, who wants to watch that? But they do want to watch it because they did, you know. And Jade was really brilliant on camera and really engaging, etc. So what can you do that's different, okay? And it might not need to have that world-changing idea. It might just need to be a tweak on something that everyone else is doing. So has anyone got any ideas of what they're going to try and do? Oh, no worries, Andrea. Andrea says she's in and out of these wake up and shake ups, getting ready for their day. Ramina's crying. Are you okay, Ramina, or is it your baby hitting the button? So don't forget, if you like what I'm saying, you can share this video with anyone you like. I would be forever eternally grateful. And you can hit Abby's love button. Don't forget the love button. If you're watching on YouTube, you've probably got no idea what I'm talking about, but you can give me the thumbs up and subscribe on YouTube. And I'm guessing Ramina's kid is hitting the button because she's very sad this morning, if not. So I want you to tell me in the comments give me a 1 to 10, how fired up are you to take some action today, 10 being the most fired up you could be to take imperfect action, or your commitment to just getting over yourself and just doing what it is you want to do. Like, we can all write these posts and proofread them to within an inch of their lives, and then as soon as they're published, we notice something, you notice a mistake, but sometimes we get stuck in that, don't we? We get the baby, it is Ramina's baby, thank God. It's fine, don't worry, we'll let him off. As long as Facebook don't think that you hate me, that's all. So we can get stuck in that, can't we? We can get stuck in that, oh, well, let's just read this 8 million times, and yes, make sure your work is good, make sure it's good quality, but then it's not doing anyone any favours stuck in your like editorial calendar on your computer, is it? It needs to be out in the world, helping the person that you wanted to write it for. So that's what you need to do. Started 10. Julie said 10. Kerry says 10. Let's do it. Come on. Kerry's got no choice really anyway, even if she wasn't incredibly motivated, because I'm just that kind of person. We've just got to do stuff, Kerry. It's simple. Apart from last night when I fell asleep when I should have been recording a podcast. What happens? This is mum life though. Sometimes you're going to fall asleep on the couch, and with me it's more often than not. But that's what's going to happen. So let me know in the comments how focused and committed. Make a commitment to me today that you will take some imperfect action today, and that you will start thinking about what you can do that is unusual today. Yeah, I don't mean like get naked and go on Facebook Live and like shout about your business, and I don't mean like that unusual. You know, there are some limits, but how can you twist the thing that's working in your niche at the moment, and how can you make it unique and unusual for you? So I'd love to know what you're going to do, because if we just keeping on doing the same thing, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And you don't want to be beige Bev. No one wants to be beige Bev, do they? You know, because it's just boring. So what can we do that makes that is a bit different? Kerry watched one episode of The Real Housewives, so Kerry is so glad that I fell asleep, so she got to do her binge trash TV watching. So I'm going to go, guys. I'd love to know what you do today. I really would genuinely love to know, and I will always respond to these comments that you put in this video. And thanks for joining me. Thanks for bearing with me with the tech this morning. We're being off and on. I'll be back on in Paul Beige Bev hashtag Romina. I know, it's Bev. Sorry if anyone's watching this called Bev. It's just my little kind of avatar that I've created for my, you know, the person that you don't want to be. But I'm sure there's so many lovely Bevs out there. I don't think I actually know a Bev, but that's just going a bit off-piste, isn't it? So I will be back here at... So Vicky said, does stripping back my blog and changing my niche count? Or clarifying my niche would be a better description? Yeah, that's action, isn't it? And it might not be perfect. You might not know exactly what you're doing. Any sort of thing that you would just don't sit on your laurels, you know? Don't kind of just think, oh, maybe when I've got more time. You're never going to have more time. It's just a fact. You're going to fill it up with crap all the time anyway. Just do it. Just do what you want to do, and then you can refine it over time. So it's not to say, you know, do it and it's going to be rubbish. Put out your best thing. What is your best thing at this time? But then think, maybe I can refine it going forward. So I've often published a post that I think is right, and then I notice a typo and have to go back and change it. But at least it's out there. At least it's trying to help someone, you know. It could be worse, couldn't it? It could just be sitting, gathering dust in my archives, my draft file. So Romina's going to do her first book review. Yay! Just do something. Everyone's got to do something today. Do something that's maybe not going to be perfect. Just get on with it and think about what you can do that is unusual. We want to please Mr. Flynn with our, you know, don't argue with him. He's like a multimillionaire. He knows what he's talking about. So that is your challenge for today. I'll be back when will I be back? In just on 55 minutes in the group for the wrap party. If you've not signed up for the wrap party, do it, because it's really good. And everyone had a really good time yesterday, I think. That's the feedback I've got. I had a good time, and I filled in my workbook, just like everyone else. And I'm going to do today's challenge too. So you can sign up if you haven't already signed up. Just go to bit.ly/2017 wrap. And I'll see you in just under an hour in that group, but you have to be in that group to get the live. So just go and sign up. So I just got distracted. Someone left me a comment on YouTube, which obviously this is only the second day I've gone live on YouTube. I thought, hey ho, why not, eh? And because I don't see a lot of people in my niche doing live YouTube, so I'm going to do it because I'm on anyway, and it's just a bit weird with the eye line, but why not, eh? There might be some people on YouTube that need to hear what I've got to say, so I'm going to do it, and hopefully it'll work. So I love you all. I've got that frog again. I love you all. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you tomorrow here for more Wake Up and Shake Up, and in the group in just under an hour for the wrap party. So I'd love to see you all there. So bye-bye. Bye, guys.